What is painful is that you will watch others succeeding and begin to blame them for your lack of progress. So just change your old story and create a new one that will better serve you. Well, that's just a phrase from Albertina Malandula's book titled Reshaping Thoughts, How to Use Your Thoughts and Get Transformed Miraculously. Albertina is also a qualified social worker, international life and transformation coach, and we've invited her to join us this morning to come and share some of the tools and techniques that are meant to help the reader better understand how to use the mind so they can change to, or rather manage to change their lives for the better, as she outlines them in the offering. A very good morning to you, Ma'am Albertina. Thank you so much for joining us. Welcome.
Thank you so much, and I appreciate being invited as SABC. Thank you.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure having you on the program. You say that many people are not so happy about where they are in their lives, but then how do they start beginning to shift their mindsets to better change their lives?
It's not an easy process, but one has to realize that they are not happy where they are. Once you can realize that you are stuck and there are things that you wish to achieve in life, but you are struggling to achieve those things, that is the point in which one can be able to say, let me change how I think about the things that I want to change in my life.
All right, now the book draws inspiration from your own personal stories. Do take us through that.
I'm coming from a rural area called Koromani. So I grew up suffering in my life. Things did not work out as I wanted it to be when I was young. My dad died when I was 9 years old. So everything collapsed that I knew. Then we have to struggle. I remember when I was at school, sometimes I would not even have shoes to go to school. And because my mom was not working at that moment, and we had to go to the field for us to get food at the end of the day. So throughout that, again, I remember when I was in my standard 9, I said to my friend one day, I want to be a professional somebody. Unfortunately, when I reached my matric, I did not have anyone to take me to school. But because it was something that was in my mind, God provided me with the relevant people that assisted me to be at school. And my first diploma was in adult education, and I started teaching when I was with my matric. So one motivated me to study up until to where I am today. So hence I'm saying it is possible for one to achieve in life as long as you are able to think the right way of thinking.
You know, one would have thought that after the death of your father, as you said, everything just collapsed. One would have thought that, you know, maybe that's how your destiny will be. Everything in your life will collapse. But then you managed to gather up your strength and, you know, fight through all those adversities that were currently facing you and your family. How did you gather that strength, you know, to move on in life?
I think I would say that I was lucky to have a brother who was motivating me. In the book, I've written that I remember not knowing how to speak English. But because I wanted in my heart to one day speak the language, and then my brother would buy books of the Barbara Hartley Chase, the Duke of the England, and I will read without even understanding the language because there was no dictionary at home.
Really?
And one day, as I was reading through that, and I realized that slowly but surely there was change, because I would learn to communicate with people that would speak English, and I noticed that in fact whenever you are committed on something, there is no way you cannot succeed in life. So that's how my life changed throughout the experience that I've experienced. And I told myself that I am not going to stay in my village where I come from. One day I'm going to climb the ladder.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
And climbing the ladder you did. And you did it so gracefully. You know, Mama Albertina, so many people, particularly from the rural communities, still don't believe in issues of mental health and about how can one use that as, you know, to be a better version of themselves. How would you advise them?
Issues of mental health, it's one of the challenges as I'm working as a social worker currently. The problem is the stigma that we attach towards mental health. For me, it is all about people that are enlightened to keep on educating people that don't see that there is a way out of mental health and be able to assist them. So that is my take in terms of mental health issues. And I also believe that if a person is open to learning, there is no way, again, one cannot deal with the issues of mental health.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you also touch on how some other people spend money on material things just to deal with their pain. But is it working, though?
It's not working. Because the fact is that whenever you finish buying whatever you are buying, you go back to the pain that you've been experiencing. So the best way, for my own opinion, is that whenever you are in pain, you have to accept that indeed I am in pain, and then deal with the pain again through using your own thinking.
Okay.
Because pain comes when you keep on repeating the same kind of thoughts that keeps on going back to the pain that you are experiencing as a person. So unless you deal with the pain, moving beyond what created the pain, one cannot be able to conquer it. So for me, it's about changing the story again of the pain, because the fact is that no one is immune from pain.
Yeah.
But the most important thing is, how do you deal with the pain?
Yeah, I mean, dealing with the pain is one fundamental aspect of changing one's life. But do share with us, if you can, some of the tools and the guidelines that we can we can apply in our lives to better enhance our lives.
For me, I hope you are asking me about the pain again, or it's about...
just some of the tools or the guidelines that we can apply in our lives to deal with the pain, to deal with some of the issues that we face on a daily basis.
For me, it's go back to how do you think, because it also comes from the belief system.
Okay.
What is it that you believe in?
Okay.
Is your belief serving you? If they are not serving you, then you have to change the story.
Okay.
And how do you change the story? For me, it also goes back to how do you think again? Because the truth of the matter is that our belief system is stuck in our subconscious mind. And if it is so stuck in our subconscious mind, one has to work very hard to uproot them. So it is all about, in the book I've written about affirmation, and of which one has to affirm what he or she wants to be, maybe in the future. And knowing that there will be a fight. You know, the belief system that we've been believing for so many years, it's going to get stuck. And you have to be resilient. You have to be willing to say, I want to fight this because I want to change my life. But if you keep on going back like a yo-yo, then it becomes a problem, because you have to learn to be consistent in what you want to change as a person. Like, as I have written the book, for me it was not easy at the beginning. I remember at some point I will tell myself that I'm going to write so many words per day, but you will find that there will be some distraction. But because I kept on saying that on this date I am going to reach this kind of writing, then I will keep on reminding myself. In that way, I was helping myself to move away from the procrastination issues, which is one of the challenges that some people are facing. And for me, again, it's all about thinking what you want to see your life happening.
And I guess the biggest devil is procrastination, as you just mentioned. And in this book, you also talk about, understanding the power of your thoughts and how that particular power can either destroy your life or even better enhance your life. Gosh, it's not even 7 o'clock in the morning, but I'm so inspired already and my day's been made. And you also invited to do motivational talks at some events. What is that one piece of advice that you always leave your audiences with?
Most of the time, I tell people that we all have a purpose in life. And the purpose is not to suffer. The purpose is for us to enjoy life.
Okay.
Find your purpose.
Okay.
Find your talent as a person. Because where your talent is, there is money, there is wealth, there is joy. So if one can be able to discover his or her own purpose and talent, there is no way that one cannot be happy.
True. Money is all in the mind. Wealth is all in the mind. You just need to go out there and go get it. You know, someone actually mentioned to me that, you know, gold is everywhere, but it's not everyone who is trained to find that gold. It can be under your feet. It can be in your mind. It can be everywhere. Mums Albertina, thank you so much. So how do we get a hold copy of this copy?
The copy, you can get it at Amazon, and then it's on ebook. And also one can call me in my number 072 5354 749.
Please repeat that number.
072 5354 749.
Okay.
That's one. Most people are able to call me in that number, and then I'm able to put it on either PEP or post office if they are far from Gauteng.
Albertina, thank you so much for making our day and for that piece of inspiration. Much appreciated.
Thank you so much.
Well, that's social worker, international life and transformation coach Albertina Malandule speaking to us about her book titled Reshaping Thoughts, How to Use Your Thoughts and Get Transformed Miraculously. Well, you can also belong to a book club. Well, you can be a lone reader, and you can also join us for a Sunday morning book feature to talk about some of the books that you're currently reading or have read. Simply send us a detailed description of your book club on email. You can also send us a picture of those books with a brief caption using our social media platforms. You can use our Twitter handle at Morning Live SAPC, hashtag Morning Live SAPC. You can also tag or send us a Facebook message via our page, Morning Live SAPC, and our email address is morninglive@sapc.co.za. It is almost 3 minutes to 7 o'clock, and this morning Pearl is broadcasting from the Bergville Sports Center in KwaZulu-Natal province, and that's where